Bringing a relentless 70 pounds of muscle, sharp teeth, and intense working drive into your living room requires absolute control and preparation. Most people prepare for this by focusing entirely on the initial purchase price of the puppy. They save up the entry fee, completely ignoring the massive financial weight of the 10 to 12 years that follow. This split-screen table shows the trap. On the left, the expected budget: a $1,500 puppy, $50 for food, and $50 for toys. But reality hits immediately. Factoring in vet bills, insurance, training, and emergencies, that first year skyrockets to $15,000. To understand exactly where that money goes, we need to break down the 5 financial pillars of large breed ownership and look at the strict return on investment for each expense. The upfront price of a puppy is an illusion. Buying a dog is actually the activation of a decade-long living financial liability, and managing it requires a properly capitalized balance sheet. Pillar 1 is acquisition. A responsibly bred German Shepherd requires an initial capital outlay of $1,500 to $3,500. You are paying for verifiable data. That premium covers documented hip and elbow evaluations, degenerative myelopathy testing, temperament assessments, and years of highly selective breeding to weed out structural failures. A $1,000 bargain puppy from an unverified breeder might seem like a win for your budget. In reality, buying without documented genetic testing invites extreme uncertainty into your home. This chart quantifies risk. Left, a $2,500 tested puppy. Right, a $1,000 puppy. One bad hip adds $4,000. Add imaging, rehab, and lost wages, and that single procedure pushes the cost completely off the scale. Paying a premium upfront for clean genetics is a strategic financial maneuver. It heavily mitigates your exposure to devastating 5-figure medical liabilities down the line. Pillar 2 is nutrition. Fueling a 70 to 90 pound working breed requires a minimum monthly budget of $100 to $150 for premium, breed-specific kibble. That is the absolute floor. If the dog develops skin allergies or severe digestive problems, that monthly baseline easily doubles or triples. Veterinary intervention often leads to hydrolyzed diets, where proteins are broken down so small they evade the dog's immune response. A prescription diet like this can push your monthly food costs up to $500. A realistic annual food budget demands between $1,200 to $2,400. This is a permanent reduction in your household's disposable income. Committing to premium nutrition reduces your cash flow that acts as a daily preventative investment against chronic gastrointestinal visits and early onset joint degradation. Pillar 3 covers preventative care. Routine examinations, vaccinations, and parasite prevention will consume $1,000 to $2,000 during the first year alone. Compare routine costs to an orthopedic failure on this balance scale. You have a $100 monthly premium on one side and a $12,000 hip replacement on the other. Securing a policy while the puppy is young counterbalances that massive surgical risk. Waiting until the dog shows symptoms is a financial fatal error. Insurance companies will document it as a pre-existing condition, rendering the dog entirely uninsurable for that specific ailment for the rest of its life. Insurance creates a perpetual fixed monthly expense, but it effectively transfers catastrophic risk away from your savings. You still need cash reserves, as many clinics require full upfront payment before the insurance company reimburses you. A large, highly intelligent breed without structure is a massive, uncontrollable liability in public. Pillar 4 addresses this through professional training. Puppy courses and behavioral support require a first-year capital injection of $1,000 to $3,000. Beyond the cash, there is a tax on your schedule. This breed requires 1 to 2 hours of active physical and mental engagement every single day, without exception. Pillar 5 is environmental upkeep. You need a baseline budget of $50 to $100 every month to repair and maintain a home subjected to a large working dog. That budget absorbs high-end vacuums to manage the constant shedding, heavy-duty vehicle barriers, and eventually senior mobility aids like ramps and orthopedic beds. Sacrificing the initial capital and personal time required for training guarantees a negative return on investment, severe public liability, property damage, and potential disputes with your landlord or insurance provider. This flowchart maps the final decision. Do you have $8,000 for year 1? If you lack upfront capital, delay the purchase. Debt is not a medical plan. If you have cash flow but low capital, adopt an adult dog. If you have both, your mandate is risk mitigation. Secure top genetics and day one insurance to protect your assets. Regardless of your path, you must park at least $5,000 to $10,000 in a dedicated high-yield savings account, solely for canine emergencies. Dogs offer unquantifiable loyalty and security, but love cannot pay a veterinary surgeon. True financial readiness requires completely balancing your household sheet long before that expensive puppy ever walks through your front door.